guys, it's Emma, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here then hello, nice to meet you. I'm a singer-songwriter musician-y type, and this is where the music happens. I have another channel just called Hi It's Emma where I say the chaos happens. I do more fun, relaxed content over there, and it's mostly art, fashion and beauty related stuff. So if you want to check that out when you're done here, then it'll be linked in the description below, but if you're looking for the music, then you are in the right place. So, before we get started with this video, we need a little bit of backstory about what's going on here. On my TikTok account, roughly every Sunday, I usually put up a song that I have written from prompts that people give me in the comments. There's stuff like write a song about a pirate, write a song about Marie Antoinette is one of the ones I'm working on at the moment. One of those songs in particular did very well, and a lot of people followed me because of that song. The bad guy song, I keep calling it. I still haven't given it a name. And a lot of people were asking in the comments for a full version of the song. And I said that basically I'm working on an album at the moment and I want to do that project and do it justice and really concentrate on that. So I didn't want to put it to one side and start trying to hyper-focus on a song that just happened to be popular with a few people on TikTok. I had a plan. I didn't want to stray from the plan. That's still the plan. So what I said I'd do instead is that every month we would have a vote for the favourite song that I'd written that month. And then I would do a YouTube video of the song, a longer version of it, all fully produced and stuff, and I would film some of the behind the scenes and tell you guys how I put it together. That was a bit optimistic, I think. Way over optimistic. But I did promise you that that one at least I would do a full version of, and I would put it on my YouTube and I would show you the process. So what I've decided to do, basically that, but slightly tweaked, is that I'm gonna just film the process and then show you the finished version when it's done. Yay! So that's what this video and the other videos in this series will be, because I've also actually done a series like this before where I decided to film the process of me trying to do a fully produced version of a cover song. And now I'm thinking we should have an update from that series, and this will be the update from that series, is me recording the bad guy song. That's what we're doing today. That's where we're starting. Okay, so today's video, what will that actually be? Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the first steps that I go through whenever I'm trying to record a demo, basically. This is what I do when I record my demos to take into the studio. So you're going to get a bit of insight into how I go about putting together songs that I then take to James, and then he turns them into something that's actually listenable. Yay! The first steps obviously are just to create a Logic project and set it up with everything in it, and then to record what is known as a guide track, which is basically just that. It's a track that you use as a guide to then build up the parts around. So, first step, need to get a new Logic file out. Please ignore OBS and all of the weird stuff that's on my desktop. Right. I need to know what the tempo of the song is. So the way I usually do this is I give it a sort of a guesstimate, and I will probably end up changing the tempo when I start recording, because I'll realise it's actually not the right tempo. But I'm just going to sing the song and tap it out until I get roughly the right tempo. That's my technique. Brilliant technique, I know. Why do you need to believe that deep down everybody's good? I think 1-4-2 is probably going to be about correct, because it was staying pretty steady then around the 1-4-0, 1-4-1, 4-4-2 sort of area. So that usually means I usually end up going a bit too slow. Right, I'm going to open that up. I obviously want an audio track because we're going to do the two guide tracks. I'm just going to put in 2 audio tracks, and I'm going to set them to a preset. I like to do that just because I find it easier when it doesn't sound completely flat. So I'm going to go with, where is it? Natural strum for the guitar, and I'm going to go with the compressed vocal for the vocals, because I find it so much easier to hear myself singing when I put that one on. Now, I don't usually do this, but I'm going to do this for this project because it's probably going to have a lot of parts on it and I should get in good habits and all that, but I don't usually bother colouring my tracks at all, because I know that eventually I'm going to take it into the studio and James can worry about that. But there is going to be no James this time, so we should colour these tracks. I believe the way you do this is you go in here, assign track colour, there it is, I knew it was there somewhere, assign track colour. What colours do I associate with what instruments though? That's the question. Red is drums, because that's the colour that James makes drums in the studio. So red is drums automatically, because I've just learnt to associate red with drums now because of that. But what is guitar? I think he usually puts guitar as yellow, which I quite like. I'm going to go with this more mustardy yellow though, because that bright yellow is ugly. I like purple for vocals, so I'm going to go with purple. I'm pretty sure this is an A minor, but I'm not certain on that because I'm not amazing with keys, and I know that I've thrown a couple of chords in this that I'm pretty sure are not in the key that it's in. Right, I'm going to get set up now to do the guitar. I'm going to DI the guitar and then just so I don't have to move the mic, basically, because there's no point, because this isn't the final guitar I'm going to use. If I want mic'd up guitar, I can do that at a later point. And I'm not going to bother treating the room or anything like that, because these are just guide tracks, so they don't need anything fancy. They just need to be in the correct order and relatively in time-ish. So I'm just going to set everything up and move the camera back so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to have to stop the OBS recording as well, so I won't have the nice sound, but my laptop can't do OBS and recording at the same time without heavy breathing. Right, I'm going to go from the start again there. And again, right, this is going to take a few takes, so I'm just going to keep doing this until I get it right now, but I don't want to waste the camera battery and stuff, so I'm going to switch again. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I got the guitar part down and correct, but I need to go through and check it, and then I will record a guide vocal over it. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to leave it there for today. I'm going to go and check and pick out the most in time actually correct bits of the guitar part, and then I'll come back tomorrow and lay a guide vocal over that, and then do me drummy drums. I'm back and I'm going to do the guide vocal now. Obviously, just being a guide, this is not going to be a perfect vocal. I'm not really going to fuss about whether there are flat notes or anything in there, because I will be re-recording this, so it doesn't need to be like, it just needs to be in tune enough and in time enough, and the correct parts, basically, to give me an idea. Why do you need to believe that deep down everybody is good? Gotta turn that guitar down, it's way too loud. You need to be able to hear me. Why do you need to believe that deep down everybody? Why do you need to believe that deep down everybody is good? Why do you need to believe that deep down everybody is good? Need to know how I was made. Are you scared, thing? It's supposed to go on for longer, okay, I messed up that bit. Right, I'm going to go from the start of the verse, which is around there. Until this people just help people to get anything they want. Okay, so yes, please ignore my laptop heavy breathing now. I've opened up OBS now, so now it's very angry at me. Anyway, so that's a basic guide vocal recorded that I'll now go through and make sure I've got all the bits where it's basically correct. And what I will now do is I'm going to go away and I'm going to put a really basic drum part on that. I'm going to do it using the built-in drummer feature in Logic, so I'm not even going to program in my own drums. I'm just going to get it to do it for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away and do that, record it, and then I'll record a voiceover telling you why I've made certain decisions about the drums in certain places. Okay, so the final bit of my guide track, the drums. It took me quite a while to pick a drummer. You can go through different drummers of different styles, and I initially thought maybe like the hard rock style would work, but that wasn't really working, so I think I went with the roots rock in the end. I think that's the one I picked. And I would definitely go with a very different sounding kit, I think, for my final drums, but I'm not really that bothered about that sort of thing for these drums, because obviously they're guide track drums. They're just there to be in time, basically. I went through quite a bit of the song, putting bits in, and then ended up changing up, especially for the chorus. Like I had an initial idea of something for the chorus, and then once I reached the second chorus, I started changing it up a little bit, and because of that, I then copied and pasted that into the start for that first chorus. I was really focusing on trying to follow where the accents and stuff are in the song, because obviously this is just to get the guitar right, especially for those bits where like I've got single strums and stuff, and then into quite rhythmic strumming, especially in that chorus section. There is actually, it's technically in 4/4 this, but if you were to write out the music notation for it, you probably end up having it be 4/4 and a bar of 2/4 at one bit. Would probably be the easiest way to write it out. I couldn't be bothered faffing about programming that in, considering it's easy enough because it does it twice. So that equals to two bars of 2/4 equals to 4/4 in the end. So I didn't bother changing it up. I just focused on that when I was playing it. That became a bit tricky to try and sort them with the drums, because obviously the drummer is just going automatically based off of things like the time signature, the tempo. But obviously it's still going off of things like, here is the start of a bar, here is the end of a bar. So when a phrase in the song is sort of ending halfway through a bar and then a new phrase is starting, it doesn't read that as the start of a new bar as what it would actually be, because like I said, it is, if you were to write this out, it'd be bars of 4/4 followed by a bar of 2/4. It's not going to read it like that. It's going to read it as the drums are randomly dropped out here and they're coming back in here, and this is the middle of a bar, not the start of a bar. So it's not always accenting in exactly the right places. So before I start next week, what I may well do, just to tweak this a little bit, is I may well go in and switch these to MIDI, because you can actually go in and edit these drummer tracks, the individual little sections. You can convert to MIDI and go in and delete notes and add notes as you want. So I might go in and delete notes and add notes just to change where some of the accents are in places, so that they're accenting on the first, what would actually be the first beat of that bar. That's the one thing I need to go in and fix, I think. But I couldn't be bothered doing that now. It's close enough as is for now. So here is what a section of my rough drums currently sound like.
If we take just a moment to speak, you'll find out how misunderstood. What is this need that you feel to reveal some deep rhyme or reason? Somebody I'm grieving, some cause I believe in.
You'll get to hear them in more detail in the next installment, because obviously I will tweak them and then be playing along to them. But yeah, overall, I think these are going to work just fine for putting the guitar down, but the final drums will definitely sound completely different. I forgot to mention that one last thing that I did do this week was I just went in and added markers throughout the project to basically signpost where things like the verse and the chorus and stuff start. So when I go back in to do things like redoing the guitar, I'll be able to like split it up and do it in sections and not have to hunt down where that next verse begins, where that next chorus begins. So that's it. I now have a guide track. Vocals, guitar, drums, that's a nice simple guide track for me to work around. So what I'll be doing next is I will be redoing that guitar part. I'm going to play around with miking up the acoustic guitar and DIing it. I like to do both because I've got my electroacoustic, so I can. So I like to record one part in both those ways. But I think I'm also going to record all of the chords in this song in various different patterns on my electric guitar as well, and possibly come up with some ideas already for what I want with that. But basically next week I'm going to be laying down rhythm guitar parts of varying different kinds, so I've got lots of options that I can then work through. The next installment will not be up next week because I have a video planned for next week already. It'll probably be the week after that I put the next installment up. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, then check out the rest of my channel because I have loads more musical content on here. Or maybe you're in the mood for something more random, chilled, art, fashion and beauty related maybe, in which case check out my other channel on here, Hi It's Emma. It's linked in the description below and on the end screen. And if you like what you see here, then feel free to hit that subscribe button. And you can also join me for live streams on here. I now live stream every Tuesday unless I say otherwise. If you want to know if I'm not live streaming, then the best thing to do is check my social media. Follow me on my socials anyway. I have all of the usual socials, they are all linked in the description below. If you want to support me in other ways, i.e. money, then you can do that by checking out my Buy Me a Coffee page. The monthly membership gets you access to behind the scenes content, mainly outtakes videos that I put together from all the various content I put out. Okay, I think that is everything. I shall see you guys next week with another fun music related video of some kind. Bye!